nursing builds a lot of resilience because a lot of the crazy shit that we see in the hospital, people dying, people coming with gunshot wounds, people suffering from heart failure, sepsis, pneumonia, all that kind of things, that I feel like builds a lot of resilience because you see the worst that can happen to somebody in their life. Lots of times as a nurse, you're seeing these worst case scenarios, and sometimes you go home and people around you might complain about certain things, and to you, it doesn't bother you. That doesn't move you because you subconsciously see that things really aren't that bad. Because people that are in the hospital, in the ICUs, they have it really bad. They're going to have a bunch of medical bills. They have a lot of health problems. They're not sure when you're going to get out of the hospital. They're not sure what's going to happen to their family. They have so much more things to worry about than somebody complaining about certain things. Even I feel like as a nurse, you complain less. Because I feel like I complain less. Because sometimes I complain and I'm just like, that really isn't that big of a deal. Because over time I've learned like, hey, I can handle this. This is happening to me, and I have the physical and mental capacity to deal with this. Imagine somebody stressing about their son's high school grades while at the hospital. That sucks. That sucks. Being in a hospital for heart failure and you having a teenage child that isn't doing good in school because guess what? You've been in and out of hospital and there's nobody to really, you could say, lead them in the right path. That fucking sucks. That sucks. Me having to go shopping, me having to run errands, me having to clean, me having a little bit of back tightness, me having whatever really does not seem like that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. And I feel like just that is also a motivator for us to just push through it, just address the problem, and so on and so forth. Like paying bills does suck. Maybe you need a new car. It does suck, but guess what? There's people in the hospital that need a new car, and they're in the hospital, So I'm not downplaying your problems. We each have our problems, and we each go through our own specific things in life, and I'm not downplaying anyone's problems because somebody that, for example, is going through a breakup, in a sense, subjectively, has the same amount of stress going on that somebody, for example, that has a car that just broke down is going through. It's all subjective. So there's no need to downplay things because people go through all sorts of trauma, and trauma is different, but the same. It's different because it's objective. We go through the different trauma, but the trauma is still trauma. Doesn't matter if someone else has bigger trauma, you could say, or smaller trauma or whatever. It's still trauma. It's still difficult. It's just difficult to you. It might seem like something easy to work around or something easy to get past for you, but guess what? That person had a different life experience. It might be a lot more difficult for them to do that. And same way with somebody might look at your problems and say, hey, you don't have it that bad. So that's always an interesting thing to look at. But I feel like nursing always builds a little bit of the resilience subconsciously.